Hare Krishna. Yeah, please go ahead and ask your question.
All right. When we were reading the entire, the qualities that a devotee needs to have, we says that no entanglement with wife or children or
No?
family.
Sorry. No. Yeah. Okay.
No
sure.
entanglement. So it says you should practice it if you can do it in Krishna conscious way, but renounce if unfavorable for Krishna conscious. What do we mean by renounce if it is unfavorable?
Okay. So very tricky. So what they're telling is a situation, right, where you can't practice Krishna conscious at all. So this is an extreme state. Practically speaking, what there is, if you've tried every means. So anyone, non-devotee association, right? You have to understand clearly two things here. Non-devotee association means going with people who are atheistic and trying to explain at an initial stage is not required. And Krishna will bring this, he will answer your query subsequently. He will tell that even to preach Bhagavad Gita, don't do to an atheist. It is not worth at all, is what he is going to mention. But what is he trying to tell us? If you are going to focus on the non-devotees, because you are itself at the initial stage, you will come down. Now, if you are in a family, he is not telling you renounce a family and run away. No, that's not what he means. What he is trying to tell you is, if this particular family environment is not, don't force them. You anyway do indirectly by giving prasad, automatically that will come, right? We already read, we are getting. But if a situation comes that they are show stopping and telling you no bhakti at all, at a very extreme stage, it is even okay to give up on that part of it rather than to give up on bhakti part. That's what they are saying. If a situation comes that you have to make a choice, whether it's bhakti or anything else, then bhakti should be done. Ideally, many times they ask, right, which should be prioritized? Should be, so it's not about priority, right? So if I ask you, what should you prioritize, should you prioritize on, drinking water, or should you prioritize on eating food? What will you tell? You will tell temporarily I'll prioritize by drinking water, but then I need food, right? You can't tell this I can replace with another. Yes or no?
Yes.
So same way bhakti, and this is so inevitable. You can't replace one with another, right? So what they're telling is a worst case situation. You have to make a choice in your really worst case situation. Then bhakti should not be the choice to let go, because that's your eternal purpose. So that's what they're saying. Does not mean that you should give up your family, throw them, and you just fought. Very important. Krishna is telling Arjuna also, right? He's willing to do bhakti, he's running away. He says, don't be a preacher. And every one of us, one part of our life, want to run away, right? Yes or no? Sometimes, school time, college time, office time, work time, with spouse, with in-laws, yes or no? I have felt, yes or no? Have you?
Yes.
So that running away we should not do. But if it is genuinely after so much, then then it is still okay, is what he is trying to answer. I hope I have answered it. Hare Krishna.
Yes, you have. Thank you. One more question. I do understand, but so we keep using the word unmanifested. Yes. I think I understand the meaning, but if you can just elaborate a little bit on it, I might get it more clearer.
So unmanifested will be used many times in various contexts. Unmanifested in simple English means what is not manifested, what is not seeable, right? So you have to tell me the context, because if you're telling unmanifested modes of nature, for example, means the modes of nature, let's take us, right? Inside you and me, the three modes are there. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. You may sit here and argue, and I may sit here and argue telling, no Mataji, in me, only mode of goodness is there. Agreed. Maybe the manifested is mode of goodness, right? But the unmanifested is other two. They're sleeping. You can't tell it is not there at all. Okay, this is a fact. It's in Shastra. So all three are there. That is why Krishna is telling, raise above the three modes, right? Go above that, right? But these are unmanifested. Now, any time this will get manifested. Even if you take a small quality, I'll take an animal, you'll understand. Let's say a lion, right? A lion is said to be in the mode of passion, right? They say some people can even breed a lion in the house and they'll be very friendly. That means, are you telling me that the lion is not capable of killing the owner? Can you tell the lion has lost its capacity and it's moved out of the passion and it's gone into mode of goodness? It is in mode of goodness. It is in mode of goodness because you have tamed it so well and perfect. It's so well bred. It's sharing love. But the original blood of mode of passion is there. Anytime it wants, it can attack anyone, right? It may not attack the owner, but someone tries to kill the owner, finish, right? Or it cannot.
Okay. So unmanifested is something which is there, but may not be very visible at this time.
Yes.
So it can be used in different contexts in different ways, right? Okay, so now when we talk about the mode of nature, we know one of the mode will be very, very visible at one particular time of our life. You know, it may keep on changing. You know, I may be good
Yes.
one time and I may be ignorant in the other. Okay, so when body takes when soul goes to another body, you know, it is decided by based on your past karmas.
Right.
But does the nature follow you, or you start fresh from the next body and mode of nature? I mean, I might be a lion, so my mode of nature is mostly, you know, passion or ignorance. So will that be continued because I will get a birth based on my this life's karma, or will it be, you know, I have an opportunity to start fresh?
Okay. So I will explain in two parts. Okay. Now, if you take yourself as a lion, then I have to keep you out of this, because this all this karma applies only from human being, not from right. So that's why I'm telling, I'm splitting into two parts. The animals go by the natural level of progression, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't law of evolution. So that we will keep it away. So if you are an animal in the previous life, there is a possibility someone can, the lion would have killed 100 people and it does not incur a sin and does not become a snake, right? It can have a human form. So animal, we will keep it aside. So we will take human beings, because karma, law of karma and nature applies to human being. I just, because we can relate better, right? And in the human life, what happens, right? In the human life, there are only two concepts which are largely dominating. What are the two concepts which are dominating? There are, I am currently doing my karma, right? Now I do, what happens? I do good karma, right? That is pious activities, I go to Swarga. I do bad karma, I go to Naraka, which is Vikarma, right? So this much we are clear. Now let's assume after both the credits have gone, I come back to the earth, right? Now when I come back to the earth, my body will not be starting from zero. For the bad karma, it's like punishment, right? It's like going to the jail. You go to the jail, we all go to jail because we've done a crime, we come out. Does it mean that when you come out of the jail, somebody is going to give you a platter with so much of gold coins, one house, and whatever, you know, etc., ready, because you've already experienced and you deserve a great life? Yes or no?
Yes, definitely.
Do you have it? Do you have a great life? No. You have to start from wherever, whatever is left for you, right?
Right.
So same way is for the life, right? So you are not, what you are seeing right now, I understand. You're seeing that every time you're born, you're a fresh person. Your body is fresh, but you're not fresh. Your soul is a continuation, right?
Right, but I'm talking about the modes of nature. I mean, if one nature dominates this life, will it also dominate my next life or not? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm answering that. I'm just coming to that. So what happens is this particular mode is dominating your life here, right? And in fact, forget about next life. I will answer again this in two parts. Let's assume that the mode of passion is dominating now. And your doubt is, next time when I'm born, will the mode of passion dominate? Simple logic. If you are in mode of goodness and you continue and break itself into mode above mode of goodness, when you're born next time, right? You may not even be born. You will go to Loka. Now, assuming that you're born because you halfway through you've left, you will possibly continue from that plus point wherever you are. You've left 20% of your devotional service, you will start from 21%. So mode of goodness continues. Now, if you're in mode of passion, you may be better or you may fall down. Either things can happen. You may go to mode of goodness, which means that you are born this time in mode of passion, but you are heading towards mode of goodness, which means next life you will possibly be born in mode of passion or goodness. You are going into higher planetary system, right? I told you pious activity. Then you're shifted from, so which means that if you are in mode of a particular mode, if you continue in the mode, then your next life could differ or be same. But if you are elevating, for example, I will take a simple logic. If you are in the mode of ignorance, absolutely, and you put a lot of efforts to go to mode of passion, and then a lot of efforts to go to mode of goodness, your next birth will not be ignorance. It will not see the birth. It will see by your activity. You understand? Because today we are all born in various modes, but our behavior is classically different. One more thing. Hiranyakashipu Prahlad. Prahlad was born with mode of goodness, but which family was he born? He was born among the Rakshasas, right? So does it mean that another Janma also he will be born among Rakshasas? No. Right? Because he got eliminated. See, he went into the material again, went out of the material world. But the fact is, assuming that even if somebody is falling down and again comes back, he will be in a different mode, because the mode which you are born, and the mode which you will be born next life depends on how you take the mode to the next level. That is what I wanted to explain. I hope I clarified.
Yes, to an extent, it's something which is really, complicated when you try to understand the soul and soul's rebirth. So there's not, we are not the knower yet. So
you are knower, but these are very heavy concepts. In one line, what I'm telling you is the mode which you are in need not mode which you have to be throughout our present life. Forget about next life. Even your present life, you don't have to stick to the modes, because we are already born in a different mode depending on our previous karma. But we don't have to sustain in the mode. For example, all of you in this group are currently in the mode of goodness, right? Because you're listening to Bhagavad Gita, very clearly you're in the mode of goodness. But some can sustain this mode, right? They've come on the track, but some can sustain. They will continue, they will do japa, and they will sustain. Not everybody will. So somebody may continue, somebody may fall down, and somebody may move out also, right? So there are categories of these people. So when these three people are born again, even assuming that all three of us are in the mode of ignorance, but next Janma, when we are born, we will be born in different modes, because that time our requirements are different. That is why. I hope I'm trying to answer. Hare Krishna. I'm sorry.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So we are so lucky to be born as human beings, and it is such a wonderful opportunity given to us. We should never lose this opportunity.
Absolutely. You hit nail right there. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. It was a very beautiful.
Radhika Mataji. That means you mean to say that last phase, whatever in mode we are, we will be next Janma, we will be born in that same mode?
No. That's what she asked. So the mode which you are in this Janma and the mode which you are in next Janma is not the same. It's the mode which you want to close. That's what I'm saying. Your mode.
At the time of closure, whatever mode we are, will we be born in the same mode?
Because that is what you want. See, at the time of thing, Krishna is really telling at the time of death,
I wanted to know.
You think of me.
Yes. Exactly.
Then you will come to me. That is the qualification, right?
Yeah.
You saw,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Krishna is telling this. So I'm not telling Veda. Krishna is telling that, Antakal, right? So at that final situation, if you think of me, you will come to me. So if you think at the time of death, you will of Krishna, so you will go there. So you're not even here. So even assuming that you're born of ignorance and we are born, we'll be there, right? You can't go to the spiritual world. Hey, this person is born out of ignorance. How is he there? No, that can't help, right? Because he's thought of Krishna. Now on the other side, right? If somebody is born, let's say on a mode of passion, because passion, why am I telling, is a very dangerous thing. You can either go up or you can fall down. Any level you can have that, but mode of passion is exactly like the, it's like the junction. Right? You have temptations. Your senses catches, the temptation is very high. But for a mode of goodness, they will make sure that the sense does not even see the alcohol mode. They will ensure. But mode of passion will be like, no, I should not drink alcohol. And he will drink tender coconut, but his eyes will be, in alcohol. Mind is constantly fighting. At the time of death, suppose he thinks like what I told you, the first story. I want to be princess. I want only 2 cars I have. I need 4 cars, and you have a lot of credits. Then you're fine. Next time, you may be born with enough credits. Krishna will grant you 4 cars in a house, luxurious house, because you have enough credits to enjoy them, right? And again, mode of passion, right? That is what I want.
Exactly.
It's just an example.
Okay. Mataji, what is the duty of body and what is the duty of soul?
Very beautiful. So we have 2 duties, right? Swadharma is 2 duties. One is the duty of the body, another one is the duty of the soul. One is duty of body is we take care of ourselves, we take care of our family, children, husband, right? This is the duty of the family. Giving Krishna conscious to the children is also a very important duty, right? So this is one. Duty of the soul is to give Krishna to ourselves. We have to do japa. Okay. We try and see. Okay. We use this word in English, right? I need time for myself. Myself, actually, the self actually means soul, right? So soul. Okay. You're chanting, all this is the duty you're doing to the soul. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Okay.
And you have to do both parallel. That is what Krishna is saying.
Yeah. So serving the family, that is the duty of the body, and serving Krishna is the duty of the soul.
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you so much. Beautifully.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, tomorrow can we chant before the class slokas?
Yes, please go ahead. You can chant. Anyone knows, you can chant. Tomorrow onwards, I'll open as usual. 9.
Yeah, Jai Shri Mataji and myself, we both will chant alternatively.
No problem. Chants, kirtans also, they'll enjoy more.
Okay. So tomorrow 14th chapter, we both will recite then.
Then, yeah, no problem. Then 9 o'clock, you all come and recite. And you can, after the chant, slokas.
Okay.
Today, Sulochana Mataji, Hare Krishna. Today, Sulochana Mataji did that Ashtakam so beautifully.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Just 1 second. Hare Krishna. Yes, please tell me. Hare Krishna. Any other doubts? Any other?
Stop the recording, Radhika Mataji.
No problem. No. Hare Krishna. Any other questions? Okay, if there are no questions, then we'll end this session. Is that fine?
Oh, thank you, Radhika.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna devotees, and we'll meet again tomorrow.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.